Okay, so I am going to make this Green Chef honey glazed chickpea and quinoa bowl. As you can see, it also has chard, cranberries, pine nuts, feta, and herb miso tahini sauce. Now, I am vegan, but I chose this because the only non-vegan ingredient in here is the feta. So I'm just going to remove that and just cook everything else. See? Here's the allergens, milk, tree nuts, and soy. So we've got an M only next to the feta, T next to the pine nuts, and S for soy next to the herb miso tahini dressing. That's what I really like about Green Chef, because they let you know what's up right off the bat. So I know, okay, if my son is eating this, I'm going to eliminate the pine nuts. You know, it's just easy for me to figure out that way. So let's get into the cooking. First, I forgot to show you the back of the card. I guess that's important too. It has step-by-step instructions and pictures of what everything should look like, which I appreciate as well. Because sometimes when they tell you to chop something up to a quarter inch, your girl doesn't realize what a quarter inch is. So that's helpful. Thanks, Green Chef. Now, of course, you either have to have a snack or a drink while you're cooking. My choice tonight is Guinness Extra Stout. Must be in the bottle, not canned, okay? So here is the bag that it comes in. Honey glazed chickpea and quinoa bowl. Let's go. Okay, this is rainbow chard. Uh-oh, it tells me that my shallot is conventional because everything is organic, so they're going to let you know if they weren't able to get it. Cranberries, pine nuts. What is this? Herb miso tahini sauce. This is a shallot. The chickpeas, which I think is interesting that it comes in like a milk box. That's cool. Okay, the vegetable stock, and what's this? Honey. Okay. Some quinoa. Turmeric. Okay, that's the feta. We can put the feta to the side. Like, if my son was eating this with me, I would let him eat this because he likes cheese still. I also realized, duh, honey is not vegan either, but I'm sorry for anybody who's offended, but I still eat honey sometimes. So let's just call me plant-based. It's the only thing I cheat on. Honey. Sorry, bees. They want me to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Ugh. Goodness. Okay. Okay, I have this vegetable stock concentrate and a cup of water boiling. So I'm gonna add in the quinoa now. Also a quarter cup of salt. Quarter cup. Good gracious. Quarter teaspoon. Give it a stir. Reduce the heat. And pop a lid on. And then we're gonna let that go for, what they say, 16 to 18 minutes. Okay. To strain and rinse the chickpeas. So here we are straining them. And here we are rinsing them. Take a bath, chickpeas, take a bath. Recycling. All right, so this is an oiled foil-lined baking sheet. And they want me to put the chickpeas on there and spread them in a single layer. And we're gonna roast that for 18 to 20 minutes. So we have to use this timer because the other one's already in use. The stove one's already in use. Oh, don't play with me. So they asked me to cut the ends off this shallot, and then peel the skin off and cut them into pieces. So I'll show you that. So I'm cutting them in these. They're supposed to be 1/2-inch strips or whatever. One thing I like about onions, shallots, they have these ridges on them. Let's see if we can get this close. So it's almost like, hey, just cut me on my ridges. The next step is to discard these stems and then cut these charred up into bite-sized pieces. So let's do that. I've just really ripped the leaves off, and I usually save this for my birds to chew on, so they love it. So this is the rainbow chard. It's been cut up into pretty much bite-sized pieces, right? Can you bite that? I got a couple big ones in there, but they'll be all right. They want me to roughly chop these dried cranberries. I mean, I'm sorry. Do you know how hard it is to chop a cranberry? I'll try. I'll try just for you guys. All right, I must say it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, so I did it, okay? But you gotta use a big knife, and you gotta put it like basically in a pile and chop, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, don't be trying to chop one at a time. That's not gonna work. Who else eats their Green Chef while they're cooking it? These are the dried cranberries I just chopped. Medium heat, dry pan, pine nuts. All right. So this is the timer for the quinoa. We're gonna put it back on for 2 minutes for the toasted pine nuts and move the quinoa off of the stove, off of the heat. And I just kind of shake these around as they toast. They're already kind of getting brown. Been on for half a minute. Checking on those chickpeas. Don't let the heat escape. Ooh. Keep shaking. You don't want to let these burn up. I'm gonna let these toasted pine nuts cool out on a well, they want you to do it on a cutting board, but I did a paper plate. 1/2 tablespoons of olive oil in the same pan you use for the pine nuts. And guess what? Roughly chop again. They want you to roughly chop those pine nuts once they are cooled. All right, add the shallots to the hot pan, they say. That's a hot pan, baby. She's sizzling. A little salt and pepper. I love the way pepper looks on onions. Or shallots, whatever. Timer's going off for the chickpeas. Adding the chard now. Adding these cranberries. Yeah, I turned the fan on. It's a little loud. Let's do the low setting. Give it a stir. Okay, it says remove from heat and salt and pepper to taste. The last step is to heat 2 tablespoons of oil. And we are going to add the turmeric to that. And then we're going to add these chickpeas right here. And the honey. Where's the honey? Right here. And then it wants us to toss that and season it with salt and pepper. So, be right back to show you that. Let's add this turmeric. And then we'll stir until fragrant, about 1 minute. This is what it looks like after it's mixed up with the oil. Let's add these chickpeas. I just squeezed in the honey, a big glob right there. So let's give it a stir. And if you are vegan, strict vegan, you can eliminate that honey. And you can probably put in agave syrup. Agave syrup or whatever kind of sweet nectar type substance you want to substitute. Let's get a bowl. You know I'm on a stool for this. I've added half the quinoa since this is a 2-serving meal. Alright, this is about half the chard and cranberries. Now time for the chickpeas. Yummy. Alright, a drizzle of the tahini sauce. Use about half of it. And garnish with the feta. I'm sorry, it calls for feta. I have feta on my mind. The pine nuts. But this is where you would put the feta also. So you can omit that. All done. Bon appetit and ready to eat. Bon appetit and ready to eat. I don't miss the feta. I thought I might. I don't. That's good. That's good. That was good. That was really good.